Oh, hello, baby. There we go, after a week of not riding and it sitting out in the freezing cold, she starts right up. Let's go to work. Good morning, everybody! Today I'm going to do an actual motovlog, so stay tuned. Not too long ago, I posted a photograph to sort of the Riding Club Facebook page. It got a ton of reactions, and never actually expected it to blow up the way it did. When I say blow up, I mean it just had a lot of comments and reactions, and I mean, nothing really bad came of it. As you can see, it was basically me scootering to and from work on one of the few really snowy days that we've had here in Victoria. Over here, the common practice is to just salt and brine the shit out of everything and then let everyone else just deal with it. So what happened is that I chose that day to scooter to work, even though it was going to be a very, very snowy day. But after the post on Facebook and all the comments and everything, it got me thinking about when is it really not safe to ride? When is it just too dangerous to ride or commute? I guess what kind of got me thinking about people's reactions were, I think the majority of them were really kind of amused and mildly shocked that I would even consider heading out on the road on two wheels, much less like a little scooter or something like that. And we had another sort of portion of people who kind of went thumbs up and like, yeah, you crazy bastard, good on you, I would have done the same thing. And then of course you've got the usual number of people who will be like, oh my god, are you insane? Do you know how dangerous that is? You're not just a danger to yourself, but you're a danger to the people on the road. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't really affected by it. I've grown a fairly thick skin over the years. But I guess I realized that there is a bit of a divide when it comes to people's sort of comfort level or what they consider to be sane. I mean, even today, as I'm riding to work, it's about 4 degrees and above zero, and to me, this is a really nice day. It rained the whole of yesterday, and so the streets are clear, and you know, whatever snow and ice is gone, everything that is left is basically on the sidewalks here and on the grass. So I really am no danger of, oh, I left my indicator on. I'm really in no danger of really hitting any really bad patches. But I mean, I'll ride safe. I'll look out for, you know, dangers ahead of me. Like here, obviously, don't go wide, you'll hit the snow, and then you'll be in trouble, right? But otherwise, I mean, a little bit of wheel slippage here and there, you expect it. If you ride in conditions like this often enough, you get to understand how your motorcycle or your scooter or your vehicle feels, and you learn to adapt to it, and you learn to react to it. So I guess in my mind, when I decided to go out that day, because, you know, the wife took the car and I needed to get to work, I didn't think of taking the bus. I definitely didn't think of taking the taxis, because the taxis were probably all completely booked up. And besides, you know, that costs a lot of money to take a taxi in these parts. And the buses will be full, and to be perfectly honest, I don't really like taking the bus. So yeah, I mean, I said, okay, well, let's do it. Take the scooter to work. And yes, I did encounter a lot of slippery sections. I did end up having to push my scooter. There came a point when I thought, okay, I'll go on the smaller roads where I would be sort of out of the mainstream of traffic, and kind of got stuck in the really snowy, icy areas, and I ended up having to sort of leave my scooter 2/3 of the way to work and kind of hitch the rest of the way. But the fact is, I made it to work and I made it home. So I guess, what's my point here? I mean, I don't really have a huge point to make other than the fact that I think if you choose to go out in conditions to ride your bike, you obviously must have thought ahead about, am I going to get there? Am I going to be comfortable? Am I going to be safe? And then it comes down to your own personal risk level or your comfort level with the road conditions. Right? You obviously wouldn't go out on the road if you're going to be like having a panic attack. And to me, it's just really all a part of what motorcycling is, right? And so you've got people who may have ridden or may have held a motorcycle license for many years, and you're like, yeah, well, I've never dumped my bike, I never crashed. But I'm like, well, have you actually ridden in bad conditions? Actually ever pushed your skill level? Oh, look at it, fellow motorcyclist. Are you, dressed appropriately? Are you safe when you go out? And maybe this, people might get mad at me when I say this, but I think the majority of people who react in like, oh my god, are you an idiot? Why do you do that? I would never ever, are the people who don't actually choose to experience motorcycling in its entirety, right? Perhaps for them it's still a hobby, it's still kind of a seasonal thing. But I tell you what motorcycling is for me. It's not just a commute. It's a lifestyle. It's not just transportation. It's a way of living. It affects everything you do. How you get places, who you interact with, the friends you make, the experiences you gain, the places you visit. On a motorcycle, it's all different, right? So alright, well I hope I make some kind of sense. And if I make sense and you agree with me or you disagree with me, feel free to post a comment below. Let's see what you've got to say. I'm curious what kind of rider you are, what kind of attitude do you have towards riding in difficult conditions. Speaking of difficult conditions, I'm supposed to be hosting a bike night tonight, pretty much the first one for 2017. We'll see who shows up. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Talk to you later. Bye bye.